History records that 252 million years ago, the Earth nearly died. The Permian Triassic extinction event destabilized planetary life support systems. Massive volcanic activity across the Siberian traps injected sulfur and carbon into the atmosphere. Solar penetration collapsed. Surface temperatures accelerated. Ocean chemistry destabilized. Oxygen availability declined across continental interiors. Conventional models describe this period as a near-terminal biospheric reset. Ecological vacancy enables archosaur expansion. Synapsid lineages retreat into marginal survival niches. Mammalian evolution enters prolonged suppression. The archive contains a divergent reconstruction. In this record, the Siberian eruptions never breached full lithospheric rupture. Magma pressure stabilized beneath the crust. Atmospheric loading increased, but remained below collapse thresholds. Thermal stress accumulated gradually, rather than catastrophically. Oceanic oxygenation persisted despite surface volatility. The Great Dying did not execute a planetary reset. It produced a prolonged ecological stall. Mortality increased. Global systems remained functionally continuous. Adaptive pressure intensified instead of erasing evolutionary memory. The dominant lineage of this world was not dinosaur. It was synapsid. Transitional organisms combining reptilian skeletal architecture with emerging mammalian metabolism. Flexible thermoregulation enabled sustained activity across unstable climates. Differentiated jaw musculature increased feeding efficiency under fluctuating resource density. Neural processing capacity expanded across successive generations. Without extinction-driven collapse, the synapsids retained ecological dominance. They did not merely survive. They specialized. Predator morphologies diversified into pursuit-optimized lineages. Herbivore defensive mass increased in parallel. Social coordination behaviors stabilized through learned territorial mapping. Intergenerational memory transmission reduced exploratory mortality. By the time early dinosaurs would have emerged in our timeline, this world was already ruled by mammal lizards. Saber dentition optimized rapid tissue penetration. Reinforced cranial armor increased impact tolerance. Thick, leathery dermal layers provided environmental shielding. Proto-fur clusters emerged along thermal regulation zones. Complex social structures stabilized cooperative hunting and territorial governance. In this ecology, the Gorgonopsian lineage achieved apex hegemony. Skeletal reinforcement supported sustained pursuit cycles. Muscle fiber density enabled rapid acceleration and endurance. Neural cavity expansion enabled coordinated pack cognition and predictive targeting. Atmospheric density remained elevated due to sustained carbon loading. Acoustic transmission efficiency increased across low-frequency bands. Pressure waves propagated with minimal attenuation through dense air columns. Selective pressure favored biological resonance amplification. Paired throat chambers evolved beneath mandibular support structures. Elastic membrane architecture permitted high-amplitude infrasonic oscillation. Vascular heat concentration stabilized vibrational energy production. Infrasonic discharge destabilizes internal organ cohesion in small and medium mass organisms. Prey incapacitation occurs without physical interception. Territorial dominance becomes field-based rather than contact-based. Consider the apex morphology catalogued as Gorgon Titan Prime. The organism combines reptilian skeletal stability with mammalian respiratory throughput. Sprawling limb geometry stabilizes locomotion across fractured volcanic terrain. Elevated thoracic volume supports continuous oxygen exchange under thermal stress. Partial endothermy enables sustained metabolic output independent of ambient temperature. Sensory systems demonstrate enhanced olfactory tracking resolution. Visual processing compensates for ash-filtered spectral environments. Neural integration supports complex hunting strategy modeling. The most striking feature remains the infrasonic roar. Low-frequency vibrations propagate through dense atmosphere with lethal efficiency. Internal organ liquefaction occurs within close proximity exposure. The organism does not merely hunt, it reshapes biological space around itself. This timeline never experiences dinosaur ecological monopoly. Modern mammalian suppression never occurs. Synapsid cognition continues uninterrupted for over 200 million years. Hybrid cold-blooded, warm-blooded physiology stabilizes across planetary timescales. Behavioral complexity compounds cumulatively rather than episodically. Civilizational development follows biological rather than mechanical pathways. Energy acquisition does not rely on combustion. It relies on geothermal capture. Volcanic corridors provide predictable thermal gradients across continental crust. Large synapsid collectives orient habitation, reproduction, and migration around heat flux stability zones. Metabolic efficiency increases through direct environmental coupling. Subsurface tunnel networks exhibit geometric regularity inconsistent with stochastic erosion models. Layered mineral compression patterns indicate deliberate shaping behaviors. Magnetic alignment residues suggest repeated conductive material interaction and spatial mapping. These structures demonstrate persistent environmental modification rather than incidental shelter formation. This is not industrial civilization. This is biological engineering. A synapsid civilization occupying the planet for 200 million years without interruption. An unresolved anomaly persists within the archive record. Fossilized footprints recovered from Permian strata in northern Eurasia display bipedal gait symmetry. Pressure distribution indicates tool manipulation behavior. Conventional science classifies these markings as geological anomalies. A metallic bolt embedded within compressed coal layers exhibits isotopic ratios incompatible with natural synthesis. Microsurface abrasion patterns indicate repeated rotational torque application. Stratigraphic dating places formation age near 250 million years. Cranial fragments recovered nearby indicate cortical expansion exceeding baseline synapsid parameters. statistical probability of contamination remains extremely low. Archive confidence weighting remains elevated despite incomplete evidence. If accurate, another lineage achieved planetary continuity while humanity never emerged. While our ancestors hid in the shadows of dinosaurs, an alternative intelligence stabilized its world. An empire measured not in conquest, but in duration. 10 times longer than human civilization. This is not merely a hypothetical divergence. It represents an alternative solution to planetary intelligence. Persistence rather than dominance. This reconstruction remains active. Interpretation remains open. The record does not resolve.